So I'm a little late to this one, but we are finally back here in Wave Hunter 2, and at the end of last week, there was another massive update to the game that brought a bunch of gear and Pronghorn and Wild Boar here to New Laurentia and Warthogs over on Killamaya Reserve. Now, I am by far the most excited for the Pronghorn. They were in the initial trailer for Wave Hunter 2, and I gotta say I was kind of bummed when they weren't here on the map, but they're here now. And also, in addition to that, I mentioned the gear. Zeiss optics are now in the game, so there's the Zeiss V8, 2.8 to 20 power, and then this Zeiss V8 1.8 to 14 power. Notice the lens quality though, superior. What we have now, this Primacy Vision Pillar, I just bought one by accident, well I guess we're running two of them for now. It's standard quality. My hope is to get to level 19 today, and hopefully get to buy one of these. Also, there are a couple of new thermals, the Zeiss DTC 3x38 and the 3x25. That's also level 19, and I think I've got an idea of how we can get about 3,000 XP. We're gonna try, we'll see if we can do that, and in the meantime, we're gonna shoot a whole lot of Pronghorn. Now before we get going here, there is something else I want to test. I'm curious if the suppressor sound is any better. So I've got the suppressor on our 308. It's a decent little mealy buck here. Good broadside. Does it sound suppressed though? Maybe a bit. What we'll do is we'll go and take the suppressor off and compare. I definitely like it better than what it was, because it was like effectively muted. There was almost no sound. It definitely sounds to me though like just what the 308 sounds like, because our last couple hunts we've been going without the suppressor because I didn't like that it was literally like completely silent. So we'll have to see, but I kind of figure, because I don't know where the Pronghorn are, using the truck to get around might be a good thing, and that is part of my strategy to get to level 19 today. There is one of these challenges, I believe it's under maybe Scout? Drive any vehicle, we need to go a whole lot further, but 130 miles gets us 1,000 XP, and then whatever it is gets us 4,000, but I'm not going to get to there. So then before we jump in the truck, let's just do a quick comparison. That is with the suppressor. We actually don't need to use the storage of the truck because we're back at the outpost. Move that. Now. Oh yeah. Alright, now we're talking. That is a little bit better. I like it. Good deal. Wasted a couple of rounds. One of the benefits of the truck. We just get those back. And we're going to do some exploring. I kind of feel like maybe down in here, that feels Pronghorn-ish. When we can find a zone, then we'll know their drink time and all that, and we can figure it out. But in the meantime, I'm going to need some exploring, but that will only help us in the XP department. Now, unfortunately, it does seem like this update has introduced quite a lot of bugs. I was stuck in the truck. I actually couldn't get out of the truck. So I was able to main menu and fix that. But now, if you notice, I can't spot anything. I'm not getting any info. I can tell that's a fairly mature buck, and he's obviously not great genetically, so I think we'll take it. Try to get a heart shot, maybe with how quick he's stumbling. I don't think so, he should have dropped. So probably just the side of it, but still no sign of any Pronghorn. But unfortunately, like, I feel like we may be dealing with a little bit of this as we go along. But there is our buck. Yeah, just, like, we didn't do any heart damage, even though we were that close to hitting it. Guess by the time the bullet got there, it was pretty well spent on energy. It's crazy we didn't do a single percentage. It was 58%. I think that's fine to take out. 182 credits. And already we're up to about 1,200 XP. Are those Boar? They are indeed. We still can't spot anything, unfortunately. So we're just going to go ahead and line up and try to take whichever one is decently broadside. Probably, I guess, the one in the front. Go figure. We find those before we find a Pronghorn. Now, there's another bug, unfortunately. When you clear those markers I just placed, they get stuck on your screen. You have the main menu to get rid of that. So, hopefully, I'll just not clear that one, and we won't have that issue. I am going to go ahead and put the suppressor back on, because I'm pretty happy with how those are. But, obviously, there's some things that need cleaned up. Looks like our boar was smoked Central European boar. So, just to take a look at it, we'll open the encyclopedia. I want to show you something on the map as well. Does that end up at the bottom? How does that go about it? There we go. I actually don't know how it's sorted, frankly. No idea. But, oh, they drink... It makes sense. They drink like 5 to 7 and then 16 to 20. So they're really most active at dusk and dawn. They do feed throughout the day, which I think is what we had just seen. You see, their senses are really, really good. So, I'm thinking this guy won't have gotten that far. And I wonder... Is that a boar zone there? Looks like it. Central European boar, feeding spot found. There we go. So this group is stable. I think we'd expect, I don't know, anywhere from 40 to 60% on the genetics. And there lays our boar right up there. We'll take a look and see what the tusks look like if we want to take a photo with it or not. Nice open area, that's for sure. Oh, jeez. Are they all gonna... What is this? We can back out. That's a 1-star female? Surely those are 5-star tusks, right? I mean, I'm gonna take a photo of that. It's gonna look really cool, but I'm guessing that's not... Maybe it is, I don't know. The eyes are really pretty, like a bluish kind of green color. I don't know whether or not the tusks are supposed to look like that, but what I will say is, probably, especially for like a female boar, they shouldn't. But I really feel like that's probably 5-star tusks. That was double lung. She still ran decently far. They are a tier 5 animal. 170 credits. That does, help with selling unique meat. I feel like... I don't know. Maybe we have to redo species that we had, like, say, where the requirement is 3. I'm not sure. Because surely we've harvested way more than 5 animals now on New Laurentia. Either way, I am feeling like this isn't maybe the right area for Pronghorn, but we might as well press on and keep checking this direction first. So I believe what we're driving through right now are invasive plants. I think this right up here is going to tell us a little bit about that. Invasive plant species. I'm stuck in my truck again. I don't know what causes that, but I'll jump out in a second and look. This is part of the plan as well in terms of getting the XP we need. And the other cool thing, like, we have really good moose genetics here from doing the missions, so in theory this could help us a lot. It's 3,000 to clean this up, but I'm gonna do it. I hope we can get enough credits to do that and at least buy the scope. Maybe not the thermal, we'll see. But yeah, one thing at a time, right? Okay, I think I solved the truck thing. You have to come to a complete stop. I don't know if we can do 2 of these. Can we? Yes. Now, we're like out of money. So what I'm going to start to do, because I still haven't found the pronghorn. I didn't think they'd be up here in the muskeg, but I don't know, like, they gotta be somewhere. I think we're going to look into missions, because I'm pretty sure Mikkel has one for us. We'll start there, see where that leads us. It's killing me that I haven't found one yet, but we might as well do some stuff as we're looking. There we go, Rocky Mountain pronghorn. Okay, so turns out they are up here. It's like really mountainous and stuff up here. I thought they'd be like down in some of the grasslands and stuff. I think. So what I'm actually doing is stocking up to some bison, because we need money. If you get a really mature bison, that guy's perfect. 22 years old, you actually make like quite a few credits. So we're cracking out the 375, which I accidentally bought that scope for. That's not ideal, but there are solutions to these problems. Perfect. And I'm pretty sure those pronghorn will stay, even if they don't. Now, I don't even think we need a zone or anything. I believe we can see on the encyclopedia everything that we need to see. Indeed, so they drink 7 to 10, and then again at 1900. Their sense of smell and hearing is not that incredible. I don't know if that matters when it comes to gunshots. Those wolves up there spooked. They weren't that much closer than the pronghorn were. Well, we're gonna go and grab this, and I wanted to show you something with the map as well. And then, I don't really know what it was with the boar. Maybe it was the tusks, but I got distracted. We never did it. Just quickly, are the bison... Is something wrong with their eyes now? It almost looks like how the wildebeest were. Maybe that's just the sky reflecting? Anyway, 363 credits. We will take that because we need about 3,000 again. Do that. Now, if we open the map, there are now filters over here on the right. And it was working before, it's not now. When you go between the filters here, it was changing this view to like a topo map, which I really, really liked. But if, let's say we only want to filter by pronghorn, we need to find a pronghorn zone. But we could turn off all the other species. And we could see every pronghorn zone we have discovered. We just, as of now, don't have any. There we go. Kind of cool to actually get to hear them. And I'm hoping anyway that it's going to be a group of them and we can maybe get a buck. So we're going to just sidestep. I'm very curious to see what the genetics start as. Definitely... Wait, those are wolves. Is there a pronghorn hiding in there? Oh. That's a 71%er. Is she by her... Like, there's a tiny little rise there. I mean, either they're all bedded... She might actually be on her own. But that does make me feel like we have good pronghorn genetics. Just, unfortunately, gonna have to let that one scoot and try to find another. But I believe we're in the right area. In the meantime, we might as well get one of these. It's an 8-year-old mature. Question, can I stay on it? I'm not gonna do the shooting stick. I believe it's that one that just spun. I hope that wasn't too low. It's tough to tell with the wolves. Yeah, we got him. Here goes our pronghorn. All right, we're finally in business. So quickly, there is our wolf. Nice coloration on him. 154 credits, we will take that. Every credit counts. That's up to almost 2K again. And I'm sure they are in other areas too, but like knowing they're around here, I think probably we'll just make it their drink time and really try to optimize for them. Okay, we spooked them. Oh, there's some big horns on those guys. Well, we know though, like their genetics are pretty good. Wait a minute. 19%? Why was that doe so good? I wonder if I can find those things. I mean, like, looking at these things. What is the deal? What are you? 37%. Yo, why? That is not what those used to look like, and it's not better. Oh boy. But there's like a, yeah, there's an 18%er? I don't know how there's like a 65 and stuff. My guess would be, you know, we gotta clean up the pollution and stuff around here, but it's weird that there's some that seem to have, you know, decent genetics. Just drop that guy. We'll take it. There was another female pronghorn there in the 70s. But at least, you know, the buck that we were able to get eyes on, not so great. That is a walking bank right there. This time we'll use the shooting stick. And we may just try to headshot again. Minimizes tracking, so why not? A bunch more pronghorn out there. 35, that guy looks decent. 55, that's a 2-star. I think they heard that shot, but they didn't spook. Now, I told you about the marker thing. I'm just gonna have to leave some markers, and we're gonna deal with it. The muleys are on the way back. Nice thing is, they're not just bolting out of here. That guy's 9 years old, that's a buck. 4-year-old, 11%. Boy, if we want a 5-star pronghorn, we are gonna have some work to do. That guy, 18%, still got us 158 credits. I suppose, I mean, should we, there's another buck. I want to shoot the 2-star, and I think we're gonna, even though it's not great for genetics. Even though there's those really terrible ones, I want to see what it looks like. So, that's about 300 yards. Well, 0 for 328. Bedded down, I think we'll be okay. Punch that right on in there. Looks like he's going down. He might die in the creek. Nope, coming back up out of there. Not gonna make it a whole lot further than that. Usually, there we go. Just nosedived up there. When they start kind of like trotting as opposed to stumbling like that, they're pretty well done. By the way, I don't think I ever mentioned it because like we found that pronghorn. The mission that I had left was literally like the last mission. It got us 1,000 credits, but that was all it did. That guy, 438. All right. I don't think we're gonna have an issue getting all the invasive plants gotten rid of. We gotta travel more in the truck. I'm pretty sure level 19 is gonna happen today. There we go. That is where he was bedded. I don't know if we've gotten to see him yet. The pronghorn tracks, actually I do think look pretty good. And our first ever pronghorn buck is laying right up here. So he's a 2-star mature. Yeah, not bad. I like it. The model looks, I actually think, better than what I thought it did in the little, like, update preview thing on Steam. I'm probably going to blast one of those bison, by the way, but first, We have a trophy shot to set up. Definitely not bad. Really nice hooks. Big, like, wide prongs. A lot of animals have this thing on their shoulder. I don't know what the heck causes that. The texturing on the horns, pretty decent. The only thing I don't like, there's all this grass and stuff in the way, but kind of the best I can do. So we're gonna take a photo there. We are, see now I got moved all around. Our pronghorn is behind us now. Little bit high, but that guy, 2-star, 144 credits. I think we'll sell it because we've not harvested one yet. I thought that might do something for the objective to sell like meat of a unique species. Maybe it still did. It only gives you updates like every so often. Either way, I kind of wanted to taxi it, but I felt like, you know, especially with our credit situation, probably makes more sense to do that. By the way, our boar genetics don't look too bad. 77%. Now those tusks on that guy make at least a little more sense. Although, wait a minute, the star rating's not. That can't be right. Yeah, 1 star at that genetic potential, at 10 years old, shouldn't be possible. Well, that kind of begs the question, do we shoot that or not? Way he's going, maybe not like, oh, there are more. I never looked at, or no, we did check their times. They shouldn't be drinking. Well, that's a pronghorn, so I think we're going to go that way. Oh, I see him. 13%. The genetics seem all over the place, and I'm not 100% sure if it's just like, you know, because we've done no habitat improvements, no pollution removing or anything, or if it's just weird, because after seeing that boar, I'm not certain. So there are all the pronghorn. Oh, look at that. So they've got like the ivory ends of the horns and stuff. That was something they added maybe an update or two ago, like I've seen it on moose antlers and all that. I just saw somebody was 64%, right? That buck 65. Yeah, that guy 62. Really weird genetics. This is a group of all bucks. Look at that. 77%er. I still feel like this, like that star rating doesn't seem to make any sense. We just saw a 55%er. I know he's a year older, but he was a 2-star. Either way, I guess that guy's the one to take. Maybe we don't need that much work to get to a 5-star. I frankly at this stage have absolutely no idea, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Make sure we get the shot. The only shame of it, that guy didn't have any of the like ivory ends on the horns. I do feel like maybe the weaker genetic buck should be smaller, but I guess it's also possible like, you know, the 5-stars are just huge. I would say pretty similar looking in terms of the horns to that 55% that we shot. Obviously this guy is a whole lot darker, which is pretty cool. Got him through both lungs. Wait, did I shoot the wrong one? That was 77%. I might have. If you guys saw that coming and you were yelling at your screen, sorry. Well, that's not ideal, but I still think something's a little goofy with that. Not 100% sure. There we go. Great news. I can stop hunting from the truck. I'm stuck in it again. I had like 2 miles to go. I figured I would just do that. So now we're at 2,900 XP. We go and get those invasive plants. We need a few more credits to do it. We're good to go. I just have to, well, actually, I can get out of the truck. I just have to fast travel. Oh, that is an albino bison? I think albino, or is it the leucistic maybe? I'm fairly sure either way. Those are actually properly rare now. And if I saw that correctly, that it was like 3 years old, it couldn't be like, let's say, a leftover spawn from when they were spawning more often. I actually, I'm not sure if I'd be able to tell by spotting it. I can't believe I didn't see that. All I was doing was gonna, you know, come down here and shoot another one to try to get more credits. Obviously, that is gonna be what we go after. Yeah, it's 3 years old. For whatever reason. I just didn't see it next to all these other ones. They were more in the open. So, we can't headshot that, right? That wouldn't be good. Elk down there. Basically what we gotta do is just hang out here till they move around. Can we tell, like, with the scope? I'm not sure if we'd be able to see, like, pink eyes or whatever. I'm leaning leucistic, but it is pretty bright white. Okay, finally moving. Not much of a movement. Kind of broadside. I think that's albino. Because of the hind end. I'm going to try to punch that in with the 375. She was smoked and going down actually before we shot. Obviously something weird with the hind end, but at least before. The leucistic ones had like a darker rump area, so I don't know. We'll go and take a peek. There's those elk. I mean, they wouldn't be terrible for credits either. Not really what we're here for today, but we may take a walk down that direction. Kind of like that, actually. That worked out pretty good. Holding the bison horn at least a little bit. We've talked before, too, like, the female bison horns kind of, like, the bases are slightly in the wrong spot if you see, like, it's down below the ear. If they were up a little bit higher, I think that would have been in the perfect position. But does this tell us? Oh, it is leucistic. Okay. So they're a little bit different now. Still a proper rare, to be clear. But I thought, because of the hind end, that it would be albino. Super cool. Long shot that. Here's the sad thing. Because of what we're doing today, there is no chance we're going to get to display that. Like, absolutely, we will not make the credits to both buy the scope that I want to get and get that thing mounted. Check out that rack. I definitely feel like there's been some changes to some of the antlers. I don't hate that. Not like the muley earlier. So that's 289. I say 0 for... That's awkward. Probably 328. He's fairly broadside. Try to just pump that through the lungs. Looks like we're good. What the heck is happening? That's our first piebald. Is that a male? I was too stunned to do anything to grab our binoculars and find out. I think it might be. Oh, yes. Okay. So he's 44%. Here's the thing. We can't... Like, we could kill it now, sure, but I don't want to do that. We might as well let him get to mature. Probably 2-star. I need to get his zone. Oh, that is sick. I wonder if we can get close enough to get a good photo. The wind is good. Like, would we have seen that if I wasn't going to go kill an elk? Maybe not. That's awesome. I can't believe that. Their fur still does all sorts of weird stuff on the hind end, so don't worry about that. He's on the move. I haven't hit the blood for that elk yet, but I think whatever zone they were in is maybe over because he's not hanging with those. I mean, maybe he's on his own? Oh, there's the elk. I'm not sure that makes our lives any easier if we don't have a specific zone for him. Now, I should say, too, I believe Way the Hunter 2 has what I'm going to call, like, true piebalds, for lack of a better term. So, I think the white patches are entirely random, because I've seen a bunch of different patterns and stuff posted throughout the community. It's really a bummer that he's just moving along, but we're going to grab our elk, and I guess slowly follow him. What time is it? 10 a.m. Oh, I think they drink. Maybe this is ideal. Like, just let him slowly move along. Hopefully find his drink zone. Okay, we're good. And maybe that'll be the most consistent way to come back and get him. In the meantime, see some of those ivory tines I talked about on this dude? He ought to be worth a little something. He had 360 credits, through both lungs, and it was 290 yards, 1,000-pounder. And all of a sudden, that is not the thing we're most interested in. There are more. Guess we gotta check, right? That's a 20-year-old, but we got other things to worry about. There's some nice bulls down here. Well, the game just crashed. Okay, then. I'll come back here with the truck, probably. Geez, that's not his zone. Surely, though, he's gonna drink right here or something? Okay, I think that's it. Spooked a bunch of elk. Tiny spike elk. So yeah, at some stage, we're going to go ahead and stop back in here. Easy spot to get to as well. That's super convenient. So I believe we saw this guy earlier. That's that 20-year-old bull. I've just been going along, shooting some stuff, making some credits. I just wanted to highlight this. Like, he's at his peak age, right? Animals sometimes will go beyond that 1 year. But look how he's walking, like, kind of stagger and head down. Little details like that I really can appreciate. I think he just turned right into a heart shot. Thank you very much. No tracking needed. And I actually think we're good as is, but especially with this, 348 credits. Yep, right into the heart with the 375. Yeah, we have actually almost 1,000 excess. We're gonna go get that last invasive plant species. I think we're good, right? Yeah, that'll put us easily to level 19. We're still gonna need a little bit of credits to actually go and buy the new scope and stuff, but we can kind of work on that as we pronghorn hunt. So, invasive plants, clear. 1,000 XP gained, level 19, and all these things unlocked. The real question is, what are we going to be able to actually buy today still? We have about 2,000 credits. The scope won't be an issue. The thermal, I don't know, and I gotta say, like, I want the scope more. I want to see what superior lens means. These new Zeiss scopes, at least unless I'm missing something, are the first with the superior lens quality. So checking back in real fast with our new friend. When you get really close, the like weird pixelating aspect on the hind end doesn't happen. So we can take some nice screenshots. That is gonna be so cool. Look at like the little brown like around the eye and stuff. I cannot believe we found that. Literally looking for pronghorn of all things. So when we go out of the camera, we need to just slam on the brakes. Oh, we're good. It auto stops you? How weird. Alright, well anyway. Got some pronghorn hunting to do, and probably gonna shoot some of these bison as we go. We need like, I think 700 more credits, and we can actually buy the scope. There's a pronghorn and a decent bull elk. That guy is 48%. If he's on his own, we're gonna go ahead and take him. We'll try to see for sure. But it looks like he is, and I'm mostly interested in like, okay, that's a, you know, decent size 1-year-old pronghorn. What does that sort of look like? And it certainly would appear he's on his own, about 200 yards out. So we're gonna sidestep a little bit. 04 to 19. Can we still see him? Probably good enough. Shooting stick helps. I don't know if he dropped or what. He disappeared. By the way, more pronghorn. I definitely see a solid buck. 74% 3-star. Probably we don't kill that. That's what sucks. I love to shoot that and maybe even put it in the lodge, but in theory, what we just killed really helps. No, I saw 2 bucks. That's the other. We can take that one. Headshot would be doable. Can we see to do it? Some of the lighting, especially when you get further out, like when animals are in the shadows, oh my goodness, they are really hidden. Okay, it's that one that just turned. We're probably gonna have to reposition. It's a bison, whole bunch of them. All right, we're moving again. There's that big one. He looks, it's a 10-year-old, so he's gonna die. At the very least. Get a bit of a look at him. I'm pretty happy with that. That looks really good. I hate that we're not going to get an up-close look. But I think I want a 5-star pronghorn someday a little bit more than I want to see that one right now. Did we get that? Or is that him there? I wasn't thrilled with that shot. I thought we were a bit back, maybe? No, that's the 74%er. You can see he's a little uneven. His left horn is shorter. I mean, I guess then we did. By the way, that 1-year-old dropped. So I'm guessing we heart shot him. Just get a... Oh my goodness. Is that normal? There's blood on the horns. Oh, that's so cool. If I move it in the trophy shot, will it go away? I'm trying to get a photo just as is. I don't think I've ever seen that. Just to check, if I move it, put him in show-off pose. Yeah, as expected, the blood goes away. Does it go back? Yeah, it does. That's really, really cool. Alright, so, that guy through the heart, pretty much as expected. Not gonna make us anything, but I didn't really take much of a look at the horns because I was too busy with the the blood on them. I feel like that's maybe a little bit big even for a 1-year-old pronghorn, but I'm happy enough with that. That guy is 48%. Maybe really weak genetic ones would be lower. Now, I didn't mark this other, but it was like right here. Yep, we shot him there. He jumped into the brush, and that was that. You can see like the hooks go back a little bit more on that. 5-year-old 50%er, 100 credits. We're getting there. And finally, we're kind of getting a chance to look a bit more at the pronghorn. I think that's... I want to shoot that one so bad, but I just know like having his genetics in the area as we take out those low genetic ones, it's gonna help. Got more pronghorn coming through here. Some pretty decent looking bucks. 51%er, 64%er. That guy's not bad at 50.9. Okay, a very obvious one to take out. We will do exactly that. That's probably just them bumping, right, due to the wind. If they're gonna slow down, still keep our eyes on that one. Did they just immediately go back into like that alert phase where they're looking around? Because if so, headshot could be doable. Gonna have to stop pretty soon. Okay, perfect. 0 for 220. Oh. You do need bullets to accomplish headshot. Accidental patience? Sure. I do kind of feel like, by the way, I remember some kind of change about, like, sort of the range of genetics on a map. Wait, though. I did it again, I guess. I tracked the wrong one. Well, so much for keeping track of the 28%er. That kind of sucks. Alright, so we are losing 2 magnification power because we did have this primacy vision pillar 4 to 16. So this is going to be essentially a 2 to 14. But I want to see that superior lens quality. So we're going to go ahead and buy this. What I'm going to do is equip it. I suppose we'll put it on the 308. I feel like there's more things that we shoot with the 308 here on New Laurentia. We will find that at the bottom. And the way that we're going to compare these, we have the vision pillar on the 375. So there's that. And this is the new Zeiss scope. I think the biggest difference is it doesn't have that almost like glare reducing, like almost like coating or whatever. You see what I mean? That like greenish coloration looks a lot cleaner, and hopefully that'll help. Like, remember that I think it was a pronghorn in the shade earlier? I really like the red center of the crosshairs. We talked about it was over on Kilamaya. With this particular scope, for some reason, it's a black center, which when you're shooting a dark animal is not great. Now, weirdly enough, when you use the shooting stick, you have a white center and that's fine, but we don't always use the shooting stick, so the red will help with that. Now, this is the downside of, having to work to get a whole bunch of credits to unlock something. We're pretty much wrapping up for the day. With one final shot, I guess we'll take this wolf here. It's 230 yards. Feels like a good distance to try the scope out. 0, 4, 220. Okay, that gets a little weird, although I don't mind it. It actually, like, combines sort of the red and white center using the shooting stick there. Looks like we smoked that wolf, at least I thought. Should be going down if that's the case. Ran all the way there. Okay. Nothing to do with the scope, I don't think, but my goodness, he went a long way. But honestly, pretty exciting stuff here on New Laurentia. Not only are there pronghorn here on the map now, there are the wild boar as well. Of course, the warthog over on Kilamaya, but I do think, because we found that piebald bison, probably next time, we're going to work on aging him up. In the process, we will probably look to improve our pronghorn genetics. Hopefully, we can at least buy the new thermal, and we'll have to see where we get to as far as the pronghorn. We've not done anything with this region yet. I'm sure some of these question marks are like habitat enhancement and stuff like that. Because we just spent all of our credits, I sort of doubt we'll be doing a lot of that, but hopefully we can get our pronghorn into a good spot, get that bison decently aged up, and eventually get to take him out, maybe even with a bow. We shall see. So this guy, the shot was fine, really. Through both lungs, 100% damage to both. I don't know what, maybe the distance? Like, I've seen wolves, didn't we do it earlier? Like, not run at all? Not really sure what the difference was there. Either way, it still brought him down. New Zeiss scope unlocked. New, kind of obsession. Getting that piebald bison, because he looks awesome. And pronghorn, wild boar, all that kind of stuff to work on as well. So, on that note, that is going to do it for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.